Well, hello again there, fellow porch pickers. This is kind of a two-in-one lesson video here. A video where I'm a goodbye video to one of my oldest friends I've had for quite a while. If you just seen the recent video, the little cleanup and setup video I just did, you know what I'm talking about. So this is kind of like my last time, picking him up, playing, and just sharing music with him. So I wanted to do today's lesson using the very first banjo I ever owned. And I think it would be fitting that I go ahead and do that and just, as a way to kind of say goodbye. This is, for y'all who didn't see the last video, if some of y'all I think just click on for certain things, setup videos, or some of y'all might actually click on for the lessons or whatever. But this is my first banjo I've ever had. It's a J. Reynolds. And done some work to it when I first got it. Because it was pretty rough shape when I bought it. It was in a pawn shop for like $100. And this isn't the original head-to-head you see on it. It's actually the one off of my Morgan Monroe, which y'all see me play all the time here. And so is the tailpiece. I just traded it out. It's the adjustable tailpiece. So where is it going? Why am I saying goodbye to it? Well, I got a friend that I work with. That's been interested in trying to learn banjo. Or wanting to play a banjo or a guitar. So it's been sitting in my corner of my room collecting dust, and I haven't played it for a while. So I figured, why not give it to him? I get that harmonic. But this was my very first knock-around banjo when I learned on. It's a good starter banjo. Just an old friend. Ooh. I gotta scoot that bridge back a little bit. That intonation's a little rough on the ears there. Let's try it again. Almost. A little more. A little more. The further you move the bridge back, you're flattening the tone. It's almost the same. Little stretch more. There it is. Now try it again. That's a little better. I'm about to retune it now. If I can hold on to it. I ain't got a strap. So, let's get into today's lesson. The frailing strum, the foundation. I'll fix the tuning on this a little more. I moved the tuners around now. We're gonna do a little bit more of the foundation exercise, the basic frailing strum, because we're going to practice and hound that to death. I move the bridge, that's why it's out of tune. There we go. Let's see. It's still a little out of tune, ain't it? The only tuner I have it on my phone. But I'm using it to record on. But the frailing strum, man. Let's practice that some more. We're going to hound that to death because that's your strong foundation. Remember, we're building a house during this series. Series 5, where you and I are building a house together. And we're pouring our foundation right now, which is the frailing strum. And to give a brief summary of what we learned last week, time signatures and measures and stuff like that. Measure is just a metrical way of keeping up the units in music. A metrical unit of music isn't a measure. Measures are determined by beats per measure. We determine how many beats a measure gets by a time signature. And in this case, it's used 4/4 time. In 4/4 time, 4 beats per measure, the quarter note gets the beat. 4 beats in a measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's practice the frailing strum together, me and you, for a few minutes. And I'm going to let you go and keep on practicing. We're going to hound this rhythm together because that's the base. And then after the holidays, at the beginning of the year, we'll move on to changing chords with the rhythm. One step at a time. So let's do it together. Frailing strum. We strike a string, strum a chord, pull a thumb off the 5th string. Quarter note to 8th note, so we count 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, nice and relaxed, 2, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1. If you're not sure why it's quarter note to 8th notes, that came to be referenced in the last video, Foundation Part 1. I'd explain everything you need to know about the beats, the 8th notes, how they cut the quarter notes in half, and how we get 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, which is our frailing strum. Practice that. Be mechanical with it. Let the drive come from your forearm. You're not flicking your fingers, you're not flicking your wrist. You're keeping a good, solid, steady form. I know it seems mundane just to practice that same rhythm over and over and not teach you any licks or anything, because in order for you to move on to the licks and the chord changes and stuff, you have to set the rhythm in motion. You have to push yourself past this point first before. have to push yourself past this. You gotta set this into motion before you can move on. So after you get this set in automatic, where you can carry on the conversation, talk, without thinking about it, your picking hand automatically falls into this motion. Then you can move on. Everything else is easy. Then you can add rest. Then you can add different licks in there. Hammer-ons, pull-offs, bends, and slides. But you got to set in the automation of this hand. It's instinctive. 2 and 3, 4 and 1. 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 2 and 3. Why don't you play with me? Don't sit there and just watch. Play with me. Practice this. I'm no better than you. You and I are on the same playing field right now. This ain't about me getting on here showing off. And it don't matter if you start out on a low-end banjo or a high-end banjo. The rhythm is the same, and how you approach it is the same. God, this has been a hell of a banjo, and I played this for a couple of years before I got to Morgan Monroe, and it was good to get started on, you know. And it's time to let it go. I got a buddy of mine, he's in, like I said, who's really itching to get a hold of one, and I thought, what a great gift, and to just give it to him. And I'm gonna urge y'all, I'm gonna beg y'all for a favor here, and I said this in a recent video, I'm gonna share it in this video too. If you're sitting on top of some extra instruments and they're gathering dust, and you know that you're never gonna pick them up again, you got another one, I mean, come on, enrich the community. If you know somebody who wants to get into music, and I know a lot of variables have to be into play, and to actually, for somebody if somebody actually is in a situation to where they want to learn how to play music, they want the instrument, and they can't afford to buy one, but you're sitting on top of some extras, give it to them. Fix it up. It don't have to be your high-end banjo. Give them these starters. This is my starter that I've had put in a corner, and it's been collecting dust for a long time, for a couple of years. I did use it in a couple of lesson videos on this channel. Because my Morgan Monroe, it went from being a $200 banjo to a couple of grand real quick. By the time I got paid off all the interest loans on it from a pawn shop, it's worth about $2 grand probably. So I'm gonna play that thing till it splinters. But you never know. The enrichment you'll give somebody when it comes to just an instrument, and if they in a situation where they can't afford one, or their children are I want one, and it could be young or old, just say here, take this, learn how to play it. And that's what I'm gonna do come this weekend. I got a buddy at work, I'm gonna get this to, hell of a guy, and I'm gonna miss it, but I'm glad to know it's going to go to a good place. He's going to learn how to play it, and he can start his musical journey on this. It's like I did. I remember practicing this very same banjo for hours, and Kimberly sitting there. You got to go somewhere else and practice. That thing is getting on my nerves, you know. And I would have it set in between the two seats of the van, just sit there. And as I'm driving, I practice that frailing strum on this banjo. A lot of memories. A lot of memories, and it's taken my experimentations and my abuse, and it's still here to help somebody else learn the craft of frailing banjo, or banjo in and of itself. He could probably learn three finger or whatever he wants to learn, but you don't necessarily have to take the same path I did. Um, but yeah, one last good look at it before I say goodbye here. Now that fist, that you see this extra peg up here. My dad and I drilled that in there because the friction tuner pulled out of the neck, and I had to run the string through it. So now he's got not only does he has a banjo, but he has a cheese cutter if he needs to, cut some cheese for cheese and crackers or whatever while he's practicing. What a handy dandy feature that is. But it's just, little Jay Reynolds. Do this slow like everybody else does when they get it out of, just show it off like they do out of the box, And this has been a good friend of mine for a long time. I found it in a pawn shop. Quick little story. It was on a pawn shop, and there was a choice between this one and a Flint Hill, which is brand new. For some reason, they had it there. Somebody had just brought it in, I guess. And Flint Hill had the metal rims and stuff like that, and it was cleaned up, looking good, and ready to be, played as soon as I got it off the wall. But I looked over at this one, and at the time, it had a top frosted whitehead on it, and the strings were hanging off of it. It was coffee stain, tea stain. I don't know what was all over it. It was grungy. And when I had my choice, I chose this one in an instant. I'm a sucker for the beat ups instruments, and take them home and give them a new place and play them again. And that's what I did with this one. And I always will remember this one. It'll always have a place in my memories. This banjo here. And this here was just me a couple of years ago messing around with some mailbox stickers, or not mailbox stickers, some label stickers, and couldn't afford a Fender, but I dang sure made it into one. Y'all should make that out as it says Fender. What if I tip it this way? Yeah. He's got a new set of strings on this. I cleaned up the head. This is actually the head off of Morgan Monroe that y'all see me play all the time, and stuff like that. No tone ring or anything, but it's just a great starter, knock around, get her done banjo. So, and I hope he enjoys it. And if he don't learn how to play it, he has a couple of boys. I know we get this too, and let them learn how to play it. So with that being said, thank y'all so much for clicking on this video, guys. Practice that frailing strum. Don't stop. Push yourself past it, and we're gonna keep hitting it for the next few videos that I do. I probably won't upload next week because it's Christmas, and so it won't be till New Year's. You probably won't see me again until New Year's on this channel. So this is the last one. So Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's. Be safe out there. Within the troubling times that we're in, and things you don't know with the unforeseen future, maybe, but be safe. Be with family. Don't take that for granted. Be with your little ones. Hold them tight. And just be there with them. If you had a hard Christmas and you couldn't afford Christmas gifts or anything for your kids, now's the time to teach them that it's not always about the materialistic things. Now it's about what you have at hand, which is each other. That's what we're doing here. And yeah, we got a few gifts here and there for them, but it's going to be about family this year. So, and what it needs to be. I think 2020, if any lesson could be taken out of 2020, it could be that people have learned to appreciate what's around them instead of trying to reach for things that are just out of reach, out of their grasp. They're learning what's in their inner circle, what's right there is most important, which is their family, and just be thankful for what you got. I think that's the lesson that could be taken from 2020. I know it's been a hell shitty year, but anyway, Merry Christmas to all y'all. Happy New Year's. Keep practicing that frailing strum. Hit that subscribe button. I'll see y'all in 2021 at the beginning of next year with more lessons. We're going to keep hitting this frailing strum until it becomes automation for you. You're not thinking about it, and we're going to move on to the next thing. So until then, hit that bell for the new video notifications. And until I see you guys again, goodbye, and keep playing, guys.